The global and regional pressure on Iran, led by U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, is escalating and will continue as long as necessary. I commend President Trump for the severe blow the U.S. military dealt to Iranian oil last night. This is the overwhelming response to the mining of Hormuz products and the Iranian terror regime's slaughter attempts. The Israeli Air Force is also continuing due to powerful strikes in Iran and throughout the region. Iran is employing regional and global terror and slaughter to deter Israel and the United States from continuing their campaign, responding with strong and uncompromising steel. We are entering a decisive phase in the struggle between the regime's attempts to survive while causing increasing suffering to the Iranian people and the pursuit of freedom. Only the Iranian people can put an end to this in a determined struggle until the terror regime is toppled and Iran is saved.
Yeah, the Israeli government of late has been geared for war, there's no question. You look at the people that are dead or missing and assumed dead, and this is a massive chunk of the leadership of the country. In this war cabinet, Benjamin Netanyahu was always the one who chaired it, always. I think there was a period in 2024 that I covered when he was missing. I think he had a transplant because he had a heart transplant because he had a pacemaker installed in 2012 or 2013, which is against the Knesset rules, you know, not declaring that you have an apparatus in your body that could go at any time. You're supposed to report that stuff, I guess, so that they could do due diligence on your medical condition, check more frequently, right? And Benjamin Netanyahu didn't like that, so he just lied about it. But when he went MIA in 2024, I did a few videos on it because he was kind of out of the picture for more than a month, which would have been enough time for serious surgery. But they said that he had to have his prostate removed. You know, that was the excuse they used. It was worse than that. But that's the only time he wasn't chairing the war cabinet meetings. And of course, Ben-Gvir, the security minister, Beelzebub Smotrich, you know, the other satanic hillbilly settler in the group, and Katz, the guy that was speaking there, that was chairing the meeting, the defense minister. Then the Mossad guy was killed. They've just been gutted, right? Like the whole government has been gutted. All these people are missing and presumed dead. The reason I think Benjamin Netanyahu is dead as well is because of this. This is Meloni. You know, she's a tiger. She's nobody's fool, but she's afraid of Benjamin Netanyahu. And I just don't think she would be talking the way she was speaking yesterday if she thought there was any chance that he was still alive.
The threats are becoming increasingly frightening, and unilateral interventions are multiplying, carried out outside the framework of international law, within which we must also place the American and Israeli action against the Iranian regime, an intervention to which, I state immediately to avoid any misunderstanding, Italy is not participating and does not intend to participate.
So it almost seems kind of petty to even point this stuff out, but this is circumstantial. The Prime Minister of Israel Twitter account on Friday the 13th, rumors circulating on social media about Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's status are unconfirmed. We urge citizens to rely on verified updates. Efforts are underway to establish contact. The Prime Minister remains committed to Israel's security, but doesn't attend the war cabinet meetings. And it was posted and removed several hours later, allegedly, because I didn't actually see that happen. But this is a legitimate account, And that efforts are underway to establish contact seemed awfully weird, but you can imagine somebody that's being bombarded with phone calls and not really thinking too much about the outside world putting this up. It's not entirely unbelievable. The reason I thought it had some credence is that the bot army, just hundreds of them, descended upon anybody that that believed that this was real. That's the point that we've come to in social media. You know, on X, if the bot army is, if $1,000 worth of bots are sent out to harass people, you know, it's probably true. And Yair Netanyahu, Netanyahu's son, who lives in the United States, customarily tweets a lot apparently, but hasn't been heard from for 5 days. Yeah, just little things, but the little things add up. I think he's dead. I think Benjamin Netanyahu is dead, which is good news, because the fake nuke or the mimicking conventional explosion, it's not likely to happen, because that trigger would have been pulled by Benjamin Netanyahu, the boss, right? And the tail is trying to run the body right now, and the head is gone. This is projection at its finest, because the reason Israel and the United States were assassinating so many leaders everywhere is because that was the poison pill for Israel in their hierarchical society, the way it's laid out. You know, they're always geared for war, and this hierarchical setup where it's eyes only for everybody else but not the leader, right? Because Benjamin Netanyahu had such a unique set of characteristics, is probably, no one's probably ever come close in recent history anyway to the scale of you know, different strengths that he had for making his evil genius happen. They're not going to find a replacement. So the odds-on favorite right now is Beelzebub Smotrich. He was in that first clip. His eyes are different. He's the finance minister. His son, on the first day of deployment in Lebanon, not a week and a bit ago, almost died when a piece of shrapnel went through his liver, and I guess stuck into his bones somewhere. Fraction of a centimeter away from a major artery, and it's changed him. I've done videos on him in the past where he's actually crying while he's trying to make a speech about all the old guard settlers that were lost while they were demolishing buildings in Gaza, because that seemed to be the only way people were getting killed, or having their own bombs, friendly fire incidents, dropped on them. I don't think he's a very stable guy. Ben-Gvir is the one that was trying to get the Al-Aqsa mosque demolished and pretend that it was a Yemeni missile or something. I mean, he's gone now. So I don't think that you know, the government that's going to have to be in place to help Israel survive is going to be a picnic, a walk in the park. There's going to be no aspirations like Steve Shitkoff and Jared Kushner have been working on. That's all dead now. You know, it's not even pie in the sky. It's not even an afterthought. All that shit is over. So all of those American politicians that have, you know, linked arms with the billionaire class that has, you know, dual citizenship passports, including a lot of the administration, they're going to have to wash their hands of an awful lot of stuff and hold their breath now. Because when a government is under siege, when missiles are falling, or a country's being bombed, obviously, you have to divvy up the information amongst a much wider cross-section of people, which means that the information leaking out and somebody succumbing to a bribe, the chances are much higher. Anyway, I could go on and on about this stuff. I will talk about it in the next couple of videos. I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll just pop up somewhere like a gopher. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I'll leave you with a couple of recent clips and one at the end, so I don't have to speak ill of the dead, just in case he's gone. Although I think I'm only really committed to 48 hours or something. Maybe somebody could tell me what the decorum is in the comments. It's very nice to see you again. Please have a nice day.
Iranian outlets moved quickly to connect missile activity, heighten security and reduce visibility into one dramatic narrative. The message they pushed was not subtle. It was designed to suggest that a major shift had taken place at the very top of Israel's leadership during the conflict. Iranian state-aligned channels framed the strikes as highly precise and presented the silence as indirect evidence that something significant had happened.